Hello, my name is Dennis Yitanen. I'm a scholar of literature and media at Columbia University. I'm also a practicing software engineer and a data scientist specializing in textual technologies. I wrote literary theory for robots for actually three major audiences. First, of course, as the title suggests, for robots. Everything written today is actively being ingested by machines as part of machine learning that is teaching from our perspective, the various AI technologies about human culture. And if that's the case, I think it is important for machines to learn about their history beyond recent sensationalized developments. Writing with machines, as it turns out, is as old as the alphabet itself. As soon as humans learned to write, we began experimenting with devices that delight and amaze us linguistically. The devices also happen to automate some of the more mechanical aspects of writing, like spelling correction or the various genres of bureaucratic record keeping that can be done with the aid of forms, templates, or skeleton keys in use since the Middle Ages. The book was therefore written also for the technologists, users, and makers of machines that participate in the production of intellectual labor or knowledge work. We'll have to forgive the train goes by once in a while. Right. So, written for users and makers of machines that participate in the production of intellectual labor or knowledge work. Unfortunately, we don't normally think of intellectual work as work. We think of it as something exceptional, purview to talent and genius. But the millions of people who write for a living, and I don't mean authors, professional authors, physicians, attorneys, heck, even restaurant workers are constantly churning ordinary, commonplace textual material. And it is here, not in the production of reified poetry, where AI has long been a part of the labor process. Writing is subject to automation, just as the making of cars or carpets or food has been subject to industrial forces. And once we see our work as part of labor dynamics, we can better perceive and understand technology that so often confounds us in the background of the creative process. Finally, then, I wrote this book for the people of the world, all those that love literature and care about its preservation in some sense. Unfortunately, due to the immense specialization in our universities, the engineers and the literary folks do not normally attend the same classes, though sometimes they both attend my classes. And technical education involves little history. As an engineer at Microsoft, I yearned for a deeper connection to an intellectual tradition that would give meaning to my code. The tools all of us use daily, the spell checkers, grammar correction, or sentence completion tools, therefore seem disconnected from literary history, all the while changing what it means to be literate. This disconnect between the technical and the cultural feels bad, is frustrating. It disempowers both audiences. But as my work shows, the roots of contemporary AI, particularly conversational AI, the kind that deals in language and text, these roots have long standing purchase in the realm of letters. In this book, I will tell you stories of medieval soothsayers conversing with paper machines to get answers about the future and the nature of God. We will encounter furniture, literal furniture, cabinets made for the composition of music and poetry. We will also see how the first generation of research in computational AI in the modern era involved computer scientists and literary scholars alike. The first digital story makers learned by reading Russian folktales. These were later implemented across industries, including healthcare, defense, and even aviation. We arrive then in the current moment of AI, which seems to us somehow exceptional, magical, and even dangerous. By contrast, my book shows that artifice and intellect have always worked hand to hand. Well, hand to tool. And in doing so, I hope to imagine a different kind of a history, a different kind of an education. Less alarmist, less sensationalist, less susceptible to grift, A more familiar history, but also a more enchanting one, more philosophically and linguistically sound, the kind of history that opens our eyes to the realities of contemporary literary technology.